watching Big East Volleyball from the campus of Creighton University as the number 12 Creighton Blue Jays welcome the Villanova Wildcats to downtown Omaha. We'll welcome inside DJ Sokol Arena alongside the former Creighton Blue Jay, Jacqueline Taylor. I'm Nick Batters. Really do appreciate your company. Jacqueline, exciting matchup we have inside Sokol tonight. On one side for Creighton, you have arguably the best player in the conference in Ava Martin, but Villanova brings in Abby Harrell, also one of the top players in this conference.
Yeah, the battle of the outside tonight, that's what we're looking at, Nick. It'll be interesting to see how Abby Harrell does this time out. Last time out against Creighton, she was held to single-digit kills, her only time this season with single-digit kills. So looking to see how she can bounce back from that. And then Ava Martin, last Saturday against Marquette, 30-kill match. Pretty incredible numbers for both outside hitters this season.
This is a Creighton team coming in on a 14-match winning streak, 12-0 in Big East play. Villanova has won its last 2 matches, including on Wednesday against Georgetown, a victory over Butler. Before that, Villanova enters play today, 3rd of the Big East Conference. So right now they have a playoff spot, just trying to hold on to that number 3 seed.
Yeah, the Big East tournament here, we have this weekend of regular season and next weekend of regular season. And then the Big East tournament, they moved it up this year. It's the week before Thanksgiving. Typically that tournament's played around Thanksgiving time, the week of, if not the day after Thanksgiving. But moving that up a week, Creighton's got today and then Georgetown on Sunday. Villanova swept Georgetown on Wednesday. So looking to see how the Blue Jays come out today against a hot Wildcat team that's looking to solidify their spot in that Big East tournament.
Very good Wildcat team, a young team,
yes,
but really impressive, especially for their age. And we are off and running inside DJ Sokol Arena. Nora Wirtz serves to the Blue Jays, and away we go. And the first point will go to the Wildcats. Villanova up 1-0.
Abby Harrell goes off the block for the tool. That was a big message of Brian Rosen in the press conference this week, blocking. They worked a lot on blocking in practice, and you see there, Abby Harrell's able to tool the block off that outside hand.
And the Blue Jays coming off of that 5-set win over Marquette, where maybe the blocking wasn't what they'd hoped. Villanova trying to take an early lead. Good response there from the libero, Breisinger, and Villanova takes the 2-0 lead.
A little bit of an unconventional play there on the Blue Jay side. Ava Martin tries to go over on 2, and a little bit of a missed time there.
Campbell McKinnon serving, the sophomore from Tennessee. There's Ava Martin dug out by McKinnon. Abby Harrell makes it 3-0 in favor of Villanova.
Great shot there by Abby Harrell. She tries to attack that off blocker, and it scores for the point. Watching Harrell in warm-ups, she shot every shot in the book during warm-ups, and you see that arsenal of shots right there to start.
McKinnon serves once more. She ranks among Big East leaders in hitting percentage and blocks per set. And how about this? Villanova starts the match 4-0 up over Creighton.
This young Villanova team does not look scared of this environment. They're stepping up to the task early here in set 1.
Oh, you say young. This is a Villanova roster without any true seniors. Just one of 4 schools in the country who can say that, along with Memphis, Princeton, and Texas Tech. Creighton's on the board here in set 1. It's 4-1 still in favor of the Wildcats.
Outside hitter going for outside hitter there. You see another off blocker shot. That time it was Ava Martin to Abby Harrell trying to take Harrell out of the offense, and it scores.
Analea Mader will serve, the redshirt senior, the Cal transfer. 5 times this year has been the Big East setter of the week. She's coming off a remarkable match against Marquette. She had nearly 60 assists, 59 in that match. Mader at the net for Reinhardt, and the point will go to Villanova.
Mader, the former Cal transfer. On Villanova, Ava Merton, not to be confused with Ava Martin, is also a Cal transfer. She's subbing out here, but they played 4 years together at UC Berkeley.
A little bit of confusion here from Creighton. The Blue Jays thought they had won the point. Analea Mader was getting ready to serve. As it stands, it's 5-1 Villanova. Alyssa Nelson will serve for the Wildcats, the sophomore from Wildwood, Missouri. She ranks among the conference leaders in assists per set. Ava Martin with the big swing. Villanova keeps it alive down the middle. Kat Young. Blue Jays counter. Jaya Johnson on the right side. Off the block, and the Blue Jays have their second point.
Great out-of-system set there from Sydney Breisinger right to Jaya Johnson. She goes cross-court at the setter. Villanova runs a 6-2 offense, which means that Villanova always has a setter and right back. Attacking that setter and right back will take their offense out of system.
Neva Martin serves, the reigning Big East Conference Player of the Week, her 4th such honor this year. And this time it's Abby Harrell tooling the block. Creighton now finds itself down by 4. Harrell already 3 kills of Villanova's 6 points to this point. Breisinger to Martin. Reinhardt sends it over. Out of the right side, big swing from Taylor Lewis makes it 7-2 Villanova. The Wildcats leaping out in front of the Blue Jays here early.
I love that set by Nelson. The ball was pushed forward towards that outside pin, and that's what we call reversing the flow. So she's moving forward, she reverses the flow backwards, catches the blockers on Creighton off guard.
And a service error for Abby Harrell. It's Creighton a much-needed point. This is a team that has dominated Big East Conference play. The Blue Jays, again, it's 12-0 in the Big East, have won 14 straight. 42 of its last 45 sets. Kind of a little weird to see the 2 set losses to Marquette. Sydney Breisinger serves for the Blue Jays. And a good block for Creighton. Creeps the Jays a little closer.
Great seal on that block by Johnson. Little bit of a trap set there on the outside for Kat Young. She's trying to tool the block, but those 4 hands pressed low and over the net make that seal. It's hard to get around.
Breisinger serves. Good dig from Young. Harrell sends it back over. Martin to Johnson on the right side. What a swing.
Great swing there from Jaya Johnson. That ball had a lot of heat on it. She caught the blockers on the way down. She was able to go over the block. That's a hard ball to defend in the backcourt if there's no touch on the block.
Breisinger continues her serve on a 3-0 scoring run right now. The block was there, battle at the net. James will try again. Mater for Brandewie. And a bit too much on that. It's a Villanova point.
There you see that out-of-system set for Creighton. Creighton has their middles take their second contact. Usually most teams have their libero or DS take second contact. Otherwise, Brandewie unable to control that one.
One of the 2 designated liberos for Villanova, Mary Kate Ritterbusch serves, the freshman from Illinois. On the back of the court, wow, that was perfectly located by Creighton.
Great swing there by Abby Hayes, the freshman on the outside pin. She's able to find right through the seam.
Sage Dammer will come in and serve. Sophomore from Howards Grove, Wisconsin. Wisconsin transfer. Campbell McKinnon was denied of that. Kept alive by Alyssa Nelson. Mater tries to tip it over. She can't. And the Villanova block gets the Wildcats another point.
McKinnon is such a fun player to watch. She's so springy and she gets off the ground so quick. Right there you see she has high hands. She just jumps from her ankles and she's able to seal those hands over and read that second ball attack from Mater.
Villanova has led this entire set 9-6 over the number 12 ranked Blue Jays. Brandewie from the right side. Young tries to tip it over. She can't. It's a Blue Jay point.
Young trying to go right at that off blocker again. That had to be in the Villanova scouting report. We've seen it time and time again. There she tries that roll shot a little bit short. Now she's stacked on the right side in this rotation. Look for Harris to get her the ball again.
Abby Hayes serves for the Blue Jays. Talked about it from the right side, Young. She's denied of the net, dug out by Harrell. Villanova keeps its steady lead over Creighton, back up to 3 now, 10-7.
Villanova's going to have a lot of success if they can find McKinnon in the middle.
As the Villanova team you mentioned, that 6-2 they've run so well this season. Lead the conference in assists, rank among the conference leaders in kills per set, second in kills per set, just behind the Blue Jays. Really, we're watching 2 of the best teams in the Big East battle today here in Omaha.
Yeah, and Villanova's challenging for a spot in that NCAA tournament. Of course, they'd love to win the Big East tournament, but even if they don't win, they're at a good spot right now for an at-large bid. They're number 43 in the RPI. Right on the cusp there. I think ESPN had them as a first 4 team out in their latest prediction. So a win today would be a really great boost for this Villanova resume.
Wow, what a swing from Ava Martin. Jays are back within 1. Nora Wirtz serves. For Harrell, tries to tip it over. Ava Martin's everywhere right now. Ritterbusch for Harrell. Jays keep it alive. McKinnon, much too far. And for the first time, we are tied. It's 10-all.
It's a great dig in the backcourt there by Sage Damrow. That's the type of momentum play, especially at home with 2,000 fans in the building. That's going to get the energy turned around for Creighton, and they tied it up in 10-10 now.
Good energy on campus. Men's soccer playing next door at Morrison Stadium right now, and a great crowd inside DJ Sokol Arena. Not many seats empty in this building right now. Villanova gets the point back up by 1. McKinnon serves on the All-Big East freshman team last year. Kiara Reinhardt from the right side evens us back up at 11.
Great run there from Kiara Reinhardt. She ran a slide behind the setter. That'll help split the block on the Villanova side. And this Villanova team is a very good blocking team, number 1 in the Big East. And so being able to spread them out a little bit more, especially with that slide, we don't see Reinhardt run that often, will be a good move for the Blue Jays.
Alea Mater serves for the Blue Jays, who are trying to take their first lead of the match. It won't happen here. Villanova stays ahead. You talked about how Villanova's kind of on the bubble right now. ESPN has them as one of the first 4 teams out. Being able to keep pace with Creighton today would certainly help their RPI. You would imagine Creighton up to 8 in the RPI.
Correct. Creighton is in a really great place to host those first 2 rounds as well. So this is a great match for both teams. For Creighton, it'll be a top 50 RPI game, win or loss. And for Villanova, it's a top 10 RPI game. And so a win today would help Creighton with that hosting, and a win for Villanova would definitely help them with that at-large bid.
Well, Villanova back ahead, man. We are just going back and forth since the 2 teams tied it at 10. And this is a Creighton team that's approaching the Big East conference record for consecutive conference victories. The service error brings us back even at 13.
Villanova looking to serve aggressive today. Against Georgetown on Wednesday, they had 8 aces.
2 very good serving teams here. Villanova again just keeping pace ahead of the Blue Jays. Oh, it's Mary Kate Ritterbusch to serve. Martin for Mater. Abby Hayes tips it over.
Smart shot there from Abby Hayes. You see her go right over the block. Once again, that setter's in right back. Even if Nelson gets a touch on that ball, Villanova will be out of system.
Sage Damrow serves. Again, the Blue Jays are looking for their first lead of this match. Harrell sends it over, but Damrow's there. How about on the far side, Abby Hayes a bit too much.
Looks like Creighton's thinking about challenging this call. Instead, we get a timeout.
So the Blue Jays taking a timeout here. I don't know if this is necessarily how I expected to come out, or maybe it's just that Villanova's been really impressive to this point.
Yeah, and I think Villanova's playing on house money, right? They have nothing to lose at this point. Win or loss, this is going to be a great game for Villanova RPI-wise. And so coming out trying to get that win, they've been feisty. Villanova this year has been known for their defense. They're first in blocks and 6th in digs in the Big East, while Creighton's 9th in digs and 6th in blocks. Those are two categories that the Wildcats have the edge on the Blue Jays. So we know there's going to be some long rallies here.
This is also a Villanova team that has performed incredibly well on the road this year. Lead the Big East with 9 road wins this year. This is a team that plays well away from their home. And if you look at Villanova's losses this year, losing in 3 sets to a very good Xavier team, losing in 4 to DePaul, tough match against Creighton back in October, and then a couple of non-conference matches. I mean, this is a team that had a good non-conference, and they've been keeping pace in conference play too. Yeah,
and I think that road stat is even more impressive given the demographic of this team, right? Such a young team, made mostly of these freshmen and sophomores. Playing on the road is no easy feat, especially in the Big East. It's so spread out, coming to Omaha, going up to New York.
When you look at the starters today for Villanova, a junior in Abby Harrell, a grad transfer in Ava Merton. But outside of that, it is like you said, freshmen and sophomores. You'd have to think that head coach Josh Steinbach really likes what the future of this program looks like. And we're back to action. A service error brings us tied at 15 once more.
Errors are something that Villanova really wants to keep an eye on as the set gets later. Against a team like Creighton, they're pretty low errors, so limiting the Villanova errors is going to be a key here in these next 10 points.
Abby Hayes serves for the Blue Jays. Kept alive by Young. McKinn sends it over. Damrow there. How about Ava Martin? James lead for the first time in the set at 16-15.
Really smart shot there from Martin. The ball is a little bit tight. I think if she would have taken a swing at that, she probably would have got blocked, but she was able to beat the ball to the spot and swipe the ball off the outside hand.
Well, Hayes serves once again, but it's right into the net. It's a service error. Back tied 16-all here in set 1 on a Friday night in downtown Omaha. An energetic DJ Sokol Arena. Ava Martin's blocked by the Wildcats. She tips it over. Harrell's there. Ava Merton sends it over, not to be confused, we said, with Ava Martin. Speaking of Ava Martin, a little too much on that swing. So Young will serve right into the net. These two teams stay neck and neck with each other here in set 1.
Another one of those service errors for Villanova. I believe that's the 3rd service error in a row for the Wildcats.
They are up to 5 already in this set.
Creighton will take those free points, but that's something that Villanova is going to be kicking themselves for.
Nora Wirtz serving for the Blue Jays. Young for Merton. Not much you could do there. Merton falling into her own bench just to try and keep it alive.
Great serve there from Nora Wirtz. Such a high contact point behind that end line for Wirtz. 6'4", gets a jump flow, so she contacts the ball at an even higher point. Downward trajectory right off the platform.
Wirtz serves again for the Blue Jays, who lead by 1. Harrell tries to tip it over. Martin's there for Abby Hayes, but again, Harrell finds it. Abby Harrell busy in this rally. For Martin, oh, I wouldn't want to be in front of that swing. Jays lead by 2 in set 1.
Great swing there from Ava Martin. She goes thumb down 4-4. Credit Nora Wirtz in the backcourt for the dig. Abby Harrell, every time Nora Wirtz has been back there, has been targeting Wirtz in that right back position. Wirtz steps in, makes that dig. leads to that transition swing for Ava Martin.
Well, the Wildcats take a timeout, and it's understandable here after Villanova jumped out to a big lead in set one. Kind of kept ahead of Creighton, but now the Blue Jays have not just crept back in, but taken what is a small lead, just 2 points, but their biggest of the set so far.
Yeah, we talk a lot about serve and pass in volleyball. Typically, the team that's going to win the serve and pass game is going to win the match. Early in the game, it was pretty even. Both teams passing well, serving well. Now we see Villanova making a few service errors. We see they're passing a little bit more out of system, and that's leading to some chaos on the Villanova side.
You have a Villanova team hitting 214 in the set to Creighton hitting just 217. Kind of makes sense when you look at the score. Maybe those service errors that you talked about are probably some serves that the Wildcats would want back at this stage. The Blue Jays leading set one, 19-7 over the visiting Villanova Wildcats. A win today for Creighton would be its 20th of the season, a 5th straight 20-win season. And especially impressive considering Brian Rosen is in his first year at the helm of this program. Back to action inside DJ Sokol Arena. The Blue Jays lead by 2 in set one. Nora Wirtz serves. Just barely kept alive by Ava Harris. Not for long, though. It's a Blue Jay point.
I'm interested to see. This is a tough rotation for Villanova. So their setters and middle back, there's not a lot of changes that you can make to the serve-receive pattern. Creighton's really been targeting Kat Young in right back.
Nora Wirtz serves off the touch of Young. Blue Jays starting to pull away.
Villanova not making any changes quite yet. Look for Nora Wirtz to go at Kat Young again.
Wirtz already with 3 aces. How about 4?
She fooled me. She went cross court, dropped it right in. Another Villanova timeout.
Nora Wirtz entered today's second of the Big East Conference in service aces. How about that? Perfectly placed. Four aces for Creighton. And not only does Villanova have 5 service errors, they don't have an ace yet.
No, and after that Villanova timeout, right? You want to come out of the timeout strong. Hard to do that with Nora Wirtz behind the service line. 3 straight aces for Nora Wirtz. Like I talked about, Villanova's in this rotation where Ava Harris is pushed up, pushing their right side up. You have a middle blocker behind the center, and then your outside, Abby Harrell, is pulled back over here. This rotation, there's not a lot of leeway. And so looking here, seeing what Villanova can pull up, maybe a sub, maybe change to a 2-person serve receive, or just dig in and pass the ball. One of those options.
I was going to say, there has to come a point, Creighton on a 6-0 scoring run right now that just took them from kind of right there with Villanova to out front by a decent margin. Maybe something different you can change, but you also want to show that you have faith in the team on the court.
Exactly.
Well, Creighton leads 22-17 over Villanova. Again on a 6-0 scoring run. They've seen Nora Wirtz offer 3 consecutive aces. And it will be Wirtz continuing to serve as the Blue Jays creep towards set point here in set one. Now the Jays lead by 5. Wirtz serves. Off the touch of Harrell. And another sensational serve from Nora Wirtz.
I talked about it earlier, but Nora Wirtz has such that high contact point. So she's able to get that high contact point, drive a fast ball. It floats. It's flat. It's under that top of that antenna. There it is again.
Well, this time the Wildcats have an answer. Jays lead by 6. Harrell tips it over. Martin's there. Mater for Hayes. A little bit too much on that. How about this? Nora Wirtz, her career high in aces. 5. She's already tied that here. The first set's not over.
That's incredible. It's incredible. Great service run there for Nora Wirtz. Gets a loud cheer as she comes off the court. That's a hard role, that serving specialist role. You come into the game, you have one job, and she crushes that role.
Ava Martin tips it over, and it's set point for the Blue Jays, 24-18.
Another tip to that right back position.
It'll be Analea Mader serving to try and close out this first set for the Blue Jays. Abby Harrell to Breisinger. Hayes keeps it alive. Martin sends it back over. Ava Merton with the swing keeps Villanova in the set, 24-19.
Ava Merton, a lefty on that right side. There's not a ton of lefties in the Big East, so a little bit different blocking setup for the outside block of Creighton. There you see she's able to tool the block.
It'll be Alyssa Nelson serving for Villanova. The Wildcats down by 5. Breisinger, Mader, a little bit of miscommunication. Villanova within 4. Creighton 24, Villanova 20 here in set 1. Hayes for Mader. Johnson tips it over. Abby Harrell denied to the net. Wildcats try again. Mader, Breisinger, Martin. Just a little too far. That was close.
Great idea for Martin. Trying to hit that sideline. Creighton running a little bit different pattern there in that serve receive. You see Martin stay on the right side, Johnson stay on the outside. Now they've switched back. But just a little bit different look for this Blue Jay offense. We haven't seen a ton this year.
For Jaya Johnson. And again, just a little bit too much.
Blue Jay airs allowing Villanova to stay in this set. Brian Rosen wants to talk it over. So far, this set has been a game of which team is beating themselves, right? Villanova with those service errors, and now the Blue Jays with those hitting errors. Creighton hitting 100 for the match.
Not exactly what you want to see. Ava Martin hitting just 125 with 6 of the Blue Jays' 11 kills. On the other side, Villanova only hitting 206.
Comparison, Creighton's hitting 340 on the year. So not quite the offensive numbers that we're used to for the Blue Jays early. Villanova hitting 230 on the year, so they're right around where they're at today.
These are two teams that have had a lot of success in conference play. And when you look up and down, whether it's the team leaderboards or the individual statistic leaderboards, you're going to be seeing a lot of Blue Jays and Wildcats. Well, Villanova's all of a sudden brought themselves within 2. Really good fight from this team on a 4-0 scoring run, all at set point for Creighton. And the Blue Jays take a timeout. The fans back on their feet here at DJ Sokol Arena as the great Connor Happer instructs them to get loud. So Alyssa Nelson continues to serve for the Wildcats. Creighton up 24-22 here in set 1 on a Friday night in downtown Omaha. Nelson serves. Mader for Martin. Harrell has it. Off the touch of Breisinger to Hayes. Wildcats are there. Reagan McGivern, we haven't said that name a lot. That was a well-placed ball, not much Analea Mader can do.
A really smart set there from Nelson. I like what she's doing distributing the ball. You would think at endgame she wants to go to Abby Harrell, but she's spreading out this offense. It's working well for the Wildcats.
After a 6-0 scoring run for the Blue Jays, Villanova on a 5-0 run. Wildcats are within one. Preisinger for Martin. And of course, it's Ava Martin who finishes off the first set for the Blue Jays, 25-23 over Villanova.
Great shot there from Ava Martin. If you're the Blue Jays, you're regrouping right here, right? You don't need Villanova, want Villanova to go on that 5-0 run to end the game. You love that you pulled out this set. But I think the Blue Jays are going to be unhappy with their performance in that first set and try to regroup before the second. If you're Villanova, you're looking to limit those errors a bit more. Continue to find your offensive rhythm.
So the Blue Jays take set one, 25-23 over Villanova. We'll step aside and be back with you in a moment for set two here inside DJ Sokol Arena.
Thank you so much to our veterans and active duty military for protecting our country. Thank you to everyone who served or is currently serving. We love you so much. Thanks to all that are serving currently or have served previously. We appreciate them. Thank you, veterans and active military members for serving our country. Thank you, veterans and active duty members for serving. Shout out to all the vets and military members. Thanks for all that you do for us. Thank you so much to all the veterans and active duty military members. Shout out to all the veterans and active duty members. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your service and thank you for coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we invite you to join us in a very special moment of recognition tonight. We celebrate our Heroes Night, honoring the great men and women who serve and protect our communities and our nation. If you are a first responder, including a police officer, firefighter, or emergency medical professional, or if you are an active duty military member or veteran, please stand and be recognized. These individuals represent the best of who we are, showing courage, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment to others. Fans, please join us in showing our deepest appreciation with a warm round of applause for the heroes among us tonight. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being our heroes.
Back inside DJ Sokol Arena on the campus of Creighton University. Nick Batters and Jacqueline Taylor keeping you company on this Friday night in downtown Omaha. And Jacqueline, the Blue Jays took set one 25-23, but maybe when you're looking at the stat sheet, there's not a ton to be excited about.
Yeah, uncharacteristic set for the Blue Jays here in set one, hitting 121. The other thing that sticks out to me from the stats is Ava Martin with 19 attempts. That's a given, right? But the next highest attacker is Abby Hayes with 5. That's a pretty one-dimensional offense for the Blue Jays. On Villanova, Abby Harrell with 13 attempts, Ava Merton next up with 6. So a little bit more distributed, but still, we knew it was going to be a battle of the outsides. But if you're Creighton, trying to get in system a little bit more so you can run your middles. Kiara Reinhardt has been unstoppable this year, trying to get the ball to her in this second set to help those offensive numbers a little bit.
And a serve from Kat Young gets us underway in set two. Just like the first set, the Wildcats take the first point of the second set. It was a first set where Villanova led for much of the first, call it 10 points on either side before Creighton tied it up back and forth and back and forth. A 6-0 scoring run for Creighton. Villanova brought it close with their 5-0 run, but Creighton had built a large enough lead. Martin at the net, and the Blue Jays get the point.
Out of system ball there from Creighton, went up as a joust and just got in front of Merton on the Villanova side.
It'll be Ava Martin serving, coming off really a historic match. 30 kills against Marquette last weekend. That's a service error there. Tied for the most kills in a match in this building, which is pretty special.
Yeah, 30 kills, hit 464. That is an insane number for 30 kills.
That'll certainly play. It was 30 kills on 56 total attempts with just 4 errors. She has 4 errors already in this match. Jaya Johnson on the right side, a bit too much. Villanova up 3-1.
Couple errors here for the Blue Jays to start.
Can't help but think if you're Villanova, good things to take away from that first set. Still not where you want to be, but excited to be able to keep pace with a really strong Creighton team.
Creighton looks out of sorts right now. Seeing the leadership on the court, Kiara Reinhardt trying to get her teammates here back in rhythm on the Blue Jay side.
Oh, wow, that was a perfectly placed serve, just barely dropping into that back corner.
Sydney Brisinger pretty adamant that that ball was out.
So attack with Brian Rosen, and they will take a look.
Each team gets 2 challenges per set. We didn't see any in the first set, not per set, per match. And if it goes to 5 sets, you get an extra challenge.
If you're right, you keep your challenge. If you're wrong, you lose it.
Correct. Did you think that ball was in?
Oh, I don't know. That's tough. And Sydney Brisinger was really adamant that it was in.
She was. Looks like it was a pretty quick review.
An extended conversation here for Brian Rosen.
It appears there was no challenge. I wonder if the cameras may be down or something of that sort. But there was no film looked at. So they'll play on.
Villanova up 5-1 over Creighton here in set 2. Service error helps the Blue Jays. We talked about it a lot in that first set. If you're Villanova, the biggest thing you have to eliminate are those service errors.
I like how aggressive Villanova is going with those service errors.
Sure. With
those serves. But those errors are going to be their Achilles heel here.
Jaya Johnson all over it, right of the net. But not to say those points that wound up as service errors would have gone to Villanova, but if you take the 5 points Creighton got on Villanova serves off the table, that first set could look a little different. Analea Mader serve sets for Ava Martin. Can't get it over the net.
Great setup there on the block by Villanova. They know Martin likes to come out of the back row. They were patient, and they pressed their hands over.
So Alyssa Nelson serves for the Wildcats. Mader for Brandowy. What a job of the net.
Great run there by Mader in the middle. Once again, going to have to get those Creighton middles going to spread out that offense a little bit more. Villanova's been targeting Abby Hayes a lot on the pass. The freshman that's been playing 6 rotations. as of last weekend. That was a great pass by her. You're able to run your middle.
Reagan McGiver, good swing there. She is one of the top hitting percentages in this conference. She's also up there in blocks, maybe someone that's flown a little bit under the radar this season. Abby Harrell will serve, certainly has not flown under the radar. Back-to-back all Big East selection. She was the freshman of the year in 2023. Abby Hayes tries to tip it over, she can't.
Something that I've noticed, Creighton's out-of-system setting has been hit or miss here in this first set and a quarter, right? So that one's a little bit tight. We've seen it tight, we've seen it off. Hard for the hitter to choose their shot when they're not sure where the ball's gonna be.
Abby Hayes on that near side, tips it over. Wildcats try again. Breisinger's there for Mader. Ava Martin down the middle. Beautiful dig from Buck Taylor. Mader tries to tip it over. She can't. Martin's there on the far side for Brandewie. Wow, well placed by Kat Young. A long rally that was in favor of the Wildcats.
That set there for Kat Young very easily could have been a trap set. I've talked about those a couple times today. That's a set where you don't really have a lot of room to move. The ball's tight, the block is set up, and Abby Hayes just, Kat Young just goes after that ball off the top of the block there. He's able to get it to fall on the court. Brian Rosen doesn't like what he's seeing. He calls a timeout.
I really can't think of many matches where we've seen these kind of struggles from a hitting perspective from Creighton. You look back to some of the hitting percentages early in non-conference play, but those were against really good ranked teams. There just haven't been many sets like this for Creighton, especially in conference play.
Creighton down to 116 on the match right now, compared to Villanova's 273.
Now look, if last weekend taught this group anything, it's, Marquette takes a 2-1 lead of the match. Creighton's backs to the wall, and they put up two good, strong sets. So still early in the match, time left. You just kind of want to see things just move in the right direction sooner rather than later.
I think for Creighton, you go back to your serve and pass. Getting that ball in system, spreading out that offense. This Creighton offense has been so balanced all year. Controlling your side of the court, that's what Brian Rosen is going to want to see here.
One of the things that Brian Rosen talked about in his weekly press conference was the blocking. He felt like the offense got better as the season has gone on. The blocking hasn't quite kept pace. Just one block at this point for the Blue Jays. Abby Harrell will serve. The Wildcats on a 3-0 scoring run right now. Sage Damrow for Analea Mader. Again, down the middle, Ava Martin.
Great run there by Creighton. That all started with the pass from Sage Damrow. She sticks that pass. Mader has all four options on the Blue Jay side.
Abby Hayes serving for Creighton. Young tries to tip it over. Mader for Hayes. Buck Taylor's there. Beg your pardon, Ritterbush. Libero, and Creighton inching back into this one, 9-6 Villanova.
Great heads-up play there by Ava Martin. Abby Hayes takes that first ball. Ava Martin goes over on two, catches Villanova off guard.
Well, Hayes continues to serve, the freshman out of Eldridge, Iowa. What a season she's had. And how lucky she is to be mentored in someone like Ava Martin. Again, Kat Young, but Hayes is there. Breisinger for Martin. Harrell tries to tip it over, nothing going. Again, Martin off the block. Ritterbush. Again, block of the net by the Blue Jays. Can't put it away. Beautiful dig by Breisinger. Damrow. Martin off the touch. Wins the point for the Blue Jays.
from her knees, and Ava Martin takes a big rip at that ball. That's the kind of points the Blue Jays are going to have to stay in if they want to start to get that momentum back on their side.
From one scoring run to another, but just like that, the service error snaps it for Creighton. It was 3-0. Now Villanova's up by 3. The floater from Ritterbusch too far outside, and Creighton's back within 2.
In comes Nora Wirtz to serve. Villanova's in a little bit different rotation this time with Nora Wirtz in the game.
And the redshirt freshman Wirtz, 5 aces in the first set, and a few consecutively on a really nice serving run. Bader for Reinhardt, just not quite in the court.
If you're Villanova, you're very happy to get Wirtz off that service line with just one serve. Harrell with a really great pass. Merton and Harris back in the game in this 6-2 offense for the Wildcats. Merton's had a nice game so far.
Ava Martin's denied to the net. Second chance, she has it. Oh, what a good job from Ava Martin. Blocked and just pokes it on over. Blue Jays within 2 here in set 2. A 1-0 lead of the match. McKinnon for Young. Bader's got it. Reinhardt battles with the net. But that joust goes to the Wildcats. Oh, Young serves. Preisinger for Martin. But that's wide. Villanova starting to pull away a little bit up by 4. If you're Creighton, you probably don't want that lead to balloon much more. The deficit for Creighton, but you see Creighton go on bigger scoring runs than that. Jaya Johnson just barely in. Was well placed.
Great swing there from Martin. She goes down that line, but that all started with the Creighton pass. When Creighton's been in system, they've been able to be very successful. Most of this game on the Blue Jay side, however, has been played out of system.
Ava Martin serve. Abby Harrell with a beautiful swing. That's her 6th kill, and she still doesn't have an error yet.
Both setters on the Villanova side, I said this earlier, have done a really great job of choosing when to set Harrell. It's easy if you have a player like Harrell to go to her time and time again, but they're being selective with their set selection and making her have a lot of success.
A beautiful attempt at a dig there from McKinnon. Not much you can do. Blue Jays are back within 3.
Smart shot there from Johnson. She knew that McKinnon was serving, and she was playing that left back defense. Typically, those middles in the back row aren't as strong defensively. A tip right over the block will score.
McKibben was at the net. Now Ava Martin brings the Jays within 2.
Ava Martin out of the back row. Villanova hasn't been able to get a lot of block touches on Martin out of the back row. They've been doing pretty well when Martin's on the outside. But on Martin's back row attack, she's been really successful finding the court with a clean swing.
You talked about in between the sets how much of this offense has gone through Ava Martin at this point. 13 kills of Creighton's 22. We're happy to see Ava Martin putting up good numbers like that. You just don't want to have to rely on her as much.
Exactly. You want to be a little bit more unpredictable. And if you're the Creighton offense right now, it's pretty one-sided, right? Johnson has been getting going here as of late. We want to see that a bit more.
It's Taylor Lewis on the right side to help the Wildcats take the point. Villanova up 16-12. This is territory that Blue Jays weren't in the first set. kind of went back and forth from the 10th point on. But Creighton maintained control this deep into the set. Nelson serves. Martin for Mater. Johnson at the net, sends it over. Wildcats have a response. Oh, well placed by Abby Harrell, right into the back corner.
Really great swing there from Abby Harrell. We call that swing a high five. So she goes high in zone 5 of the court, over the blockers right in the seam. If you're Creighton, you want your middle back to cross behind your left back there. But really smart shot from Harrell.
Well, timeout taken here. Creighton down by 5. Villanova up 17-12. In the set, Creighton on the set is hitting .214, so you're improving from a hitting percentage from where you were in set 1, but still not quite what you're looking for if you're the Blue Jays. Both of these teams taking steps forward, though, from a hitting percentage perspective. There's still too many errors, but fewer than what we saw in the first set. It's been a little cleaner, I'd say.
Yeah, less errors on both sides. Passing on the Creighton side has had its moments, right? They've been in system, they've been out of system. Villanova's looked a little bit more in system this set, which means they're able to set any of their 3 attackers and their back row attack, right? They have 4 hitters at all times because both outsides run 6 rotations. So they always have that back row attack option. And it's made it really difficult to defend for Creighton. Creighton still with just 1 block. Something that I'm sure Brian Rosen is talking about in his timeout. Staying disciplined at the net, staying balanced, being able to get 4 hands in front of the attackers to help out your defenders behind you.
Well, Creighton's had at least 4 blocks in every match this season. Had at least 5 in a good number of matches. Hey, you talked about the ability of the Villanova setters between Ava Harris and Alyssa Nelson. They both have 9 assists to this point. They've done a good job of figuring out who to go to. We're back to action inside DJ Sokol Arena. And an ace for the Wildcats puts Villanova up by 6 here in the second set.
That was a great serve there by Nelson. She goes right in the seam of Abby Hayes and Ava Martin. Abby Hayes is front row in this rotation, so she's looking to get out to transition.
Villanova on a 4-0 scoring run. Nelson serves. Bader for Johnson. Wildcats are there. Harrell tips it over. Bader, Breisinger, Hayes, beautiful.
Great swing there from Abby Hayes. She did have 4 hands in front of her, but she's able to go thumb down right to that left back position. Looking like Ava Martin up there for the freshman.
Sage Damrose serves. Abby Harrell's denied to the net. That's the block Creighton's been looking for.
Really great block there. Villanova's able to run that set in system with tempo. Eloise Brandewie stays disciplined. Mater sets up a good setup and able to get 4 hands right in front of it.
Damrose serves once again. McGivern, a big swing from the right side. Wildcats stay on top by 5.
I really like Villanova running McGivern behind in that rotation. Because Villanova's in this 6-2, you don't see a lot of slides from them in transition because you have that right side attacker behind. So with McGivern running that ball behind, it's able to spread out the Creighton block a bit more with that faster tempo and just make them think twice.
Time for Lewis on the right side, and Villanova takes another point now, leading Creighton by 6 here in set 2, 2014.
Lewis is quietly putting together a great game. 4 kills on 8 attempts, hitting .500. There she has that perfect placement right to that deep corner.
For Abby Hayes, Wildcats keep it alive. Harrell sends it back over. Mater for Brandewie. Jays back within 5.
Credit that kill to Analea Mater. She went up like she was going to attack that ball. McGivern jumped with Mater, and then she sets Brandewie behind her. Brandewie has one, maybe half a blocker, able to get that kill.
Brandaway, her second kill of the night on 5 attempts. Raider Bush handles the serve. Taylor Lewis with a nice swing. Villanova pulling towards set point.
If you're Creighton and you're blocking, you're looking to get block touches at the net. There's been a lot of clean swings for Villanova, trying to slow down those balls so your defenders can play behind.
Ava Martin cross court, beautiful.
That was a great swing there by Martin. Another great setup by Mater. Running that ball just a bit inside. You see right there that Lewis is out to the pin. Martin goes inside and she's able to go right in the hole of that block.
Nora Wirtz back at a serve. She had 5 aces in set 1. Not here, Abby Harrell. Off the touch of Analea Mater. Villanova 3 away from taking the second set. We talked about it. This is a Creighton team that has not lost many sets in Big East Conference play. 1 to DePaul back on October the 4th. 2 against Marquette over the weekend, and dropping the second and third sets to Marquette. Snapped a stretch of 24 consecutive sets, won by the Blue Jays. Ava Harris serves. Mater for Reinhardt. Well-placed swing by Chiara.
I believe they called that ball out. So it'll be a point Villanova.
Yeah, that is a point for Villanova, so 23-16. Almost well-placed by Reinhardt. Blue Jays are out of timeouts at this point. Villanova leading the second set by 7. Harris serves off the tape. Mater for Martin. McKinnon's denied to the net. Nothing going for Kat Young. Ava Martin, she's blocked down. Reisinger's there. Martin can't win the battle of the net, and it is set point for Villanova here in set 2.
Mater just gets that one a little bit too tight to the net. Not much that Ava Martin can do with that ball.
A set point for Villanova. Ava Harris serves. Damrow, Mater, Martin. Buck Taylor has Kat Young off the touch of Damrow, and set 2 goes to the Wildcats, 25-16 to even this match at 1 set apiece.
That was a great set by Villanova. They were in system. They were firing on all cylinders, getting block touches, great digs, and then running their offense in transition. If you're Creighton going to that locker room, you're just looking to have a short-term memory, right? Best and worst thing about volleyball, KBB always used to say it. The score resets to 0-0. So here, best case scenario for Creighton, regroup, come into themselves once again, and then look to restart on this third set.
On the last 9 meetings between these two teams were Creighton sweeps. Today will not be a Creighton sweep. The Wildcats take set 2. We're tied at 1, and we'll rejoin you from DJ Sokol Arena in a bit. Welcome back inside DJ Sokol Arena on a Friday night in downtown Omaha from the campus of Creighton University. Nick Batters, Jacqueline Taylor hanging out with you. Really do appreciate the company. We are tied 1 set each. Creighton took set 1. But the Wildcats take set 2. It was 25-23 Creighton and then 25-16 Villanova. The Wildcats led for virtually all of that second set. Creighton's going to really, to be straightforward, going to have to come out with something different here in this third set.
Yeah, I think Creighton needs to focus on their side of the court. Right, we've talked about it, a little bit uncharacteristic of the Blue Jays, out of system on the pass, and when they're out of system on the pass, their out of system sets have been pretty unpredictable as well, making the offense hard to run. If you're Creighton, you're looking to control your side of the court, serve aggressive, pass in system. And if you're Villanova, you're looking to keep your offense balanced. It's giving the Blue Jays trouble getting touches on that block because of how balanced this Villanova offense has been all night.
Annalee Mader serves, and we're back underway inside DJ Sokol Arena. Really glad you're with us. Wildcats took the first point in both the first and second sets. Well, a nice rally to start this third set. Mader for Martin, dug out by Ritterbusch. And Jaya Johnson gets tangled up, and Villanova takes the first point in set 3.
Abby Harrell has been really successful on that back row attack. They run a faster back row attack, and you see just catching Jaya Johnson there on the way down. Hands not pressed as far over because she was on her landing.
A good swing from Kiara Reinhardt brings us at 1-1, and I think that's someone that Creighton will want to get the ball to maybe take some pressure off of Ava Martin.
Yeah, that is not something we've seen a lot tonight, is Reinhardt, and we've seen it all season long. Running her on that one set a little bit higher in front of Mader. They've been trying to run some different offensive patterns with Reinhardt today, but going back to that higher one ball, trying to find success, and there you see it again.
Again, it's Kiara Reinhardt. First in the conference in hitting percentage, 9th in the country. Reinhardt, the 6th-year senior from Cedarburg, Wisconsin. Ava Martin will serve for the Blue Jays, who have their first lead since set 1. Abby Harrell from the near side brings us even at 2. Campbell McKinnon serves. Johnson's hit blocked the net. Jaya will go again. Dug by Harris. Annalee Mader is there with a good dig for Knott. Villanova up 3-2.
Really great shot there from Harrell. She goes with the tip right over the block, making Mader play that ball.
Now that an ace from McKinnon. It's 4-2 Villanova.
On the Creighton side, trying to get in system here, and then look for Mader to set Johnson behind, and her tip over the block with McKinnon in the back row. McKinnon serves off the tape, another ace. love the way McKinnon plays. She's playing with a lot of passion right now. You see how badly she wants these points, and she wants to win this match.
A lot of good energy on the Villanova bench right now. And a service error that Creighton will not complain about. It was the 8th service error of the match for Villanova to just 3 aces. 4, I beg your pardon. 3 of them have come from McKinnon. Sent over by Merton. For Hayes. Blue Jays back within 1.
Great swing there from Hayes. Creighton able to be in system once again. Run that tempo to Hayes on the outside. She's able to just get it through that block.
Sydney Breisinger serves. For Harrell. Just a little too wide, but that was close. 5-5. Breisinger serves. Good swing there from Reagan McGivern. She has her 5th kill of the match.
Great run there from Villanova. Credit that pass from the Wildcats. Able to run your middle in front.
Nelson serves. Good dig from Young. And an even better swing from McGivern.
This match is going to be a matter of who can set their middles more, I think. So right now we see McGivern getting really good looks in the middle, one-on-one with Brandewie up. She's able to turn that ball to zone 1 and score.
For Jaya Johnson on the right side. Buck Taylor couldn't handle it. Jay's back within 1.
Jaya Johnson has been really effective on this right side pin right there. She goes thumb down, right down the line.
Talking about people you want to feed other than just Ava Martin. Jaya Johnson's up there. That was her 6th kill of the match. 2nd on the team behind Ava Martin's 14. Harrell knocks it over. Hayes has it. Down the middle, Ava Martin off the touch of Nelson. And that's well out. Creighton ties it up.
Really good run there from the Blue Jays. Ava Martin in transition. She leaps in front of that 10-foot line like she's attacking from the front row, but she takes off behind the 10-foot line. She's able to get a lot of speed on that ball.
Nelson for Harrell. She tools the block well. Villanova back ahead. Abby Harrell having herself a very good match. Up to 12 kills now, hitting .357. She serves for Villanova. Abby Hayes to Harrell. Buck Taylor. Touched over by Young. The Blue Jays don't have it. Villanova up 9-7.
Unconventional play there from Villanova. They're able to get the point.
And if you're Villanova, you're having a good match, you'll take them wherever you can get them against a very good Blue Jay team. Not a bad swing from Hayes, just a bit too much on it. And a service error from Harrell, bringing Creighton a bit closer.
Really great run there from Harrell, able to get some separation. Ava Martin rotates to the front row here for Creighton, looking to capitalize on these next 3 rotations for the Blue Jays.
Nelson from McGivern denied to the net. There's another good Blue Jay block.
That's a great low press over from Brandewie. She's able to get both of her hands low sealed over that net for the solo block.
Hayes will serve. Young tries to tip it over. Dug out by the Blue Jays. Hayes. And Villanova up by 2.
Right there, you had Ava Martin with a back row, Abby Hayes with a back row attack. So that means you cannot jump in front of the 10-foot line if you're in the back row. There you see she just crosses the 10-foot line, the 3-meter line. Point for Villanova.
And Brandowy from the right side. It's the Jays back within 1.
Great 3 rotations there from Brandowy, impacting the game in a positive way. That's exactly what you want to see from your middle.
Now Nora Wirtz will serve. She has all 5 of the Blue Jay aces in this match. They all came in the first set. 4 of them came consecutively. Wirtz for Mater. Martin knocks it over. And the Jays tied at 11. We talked about how hard it is to be a serving specialist, like the position that Nora Wirtz finds herself in. If you're Creighton, you'd certainly like to keep her at the service line as much as you can. Off the block, Villanova ends up getting the point.
Yeah, Nora Wirtz, serving specialist, an unconventional one at that. Usually you see a DS, a setter, step into the serving specialist role because they're able to play such good defense. Nora Wirtz, she's a middle, but she still plays that back row, and she plays great defense back there as well. She's really embraced this serving specialist role and made the most of it.
Ava Harris serves for the Wildcats. Martin off the touch of Harris. For Young. She hits it off the Creighton block. Ava Martin. Good block from Villanova. Blue Jays keep the ball alive. Dug out by Buck Taylor. That'll be another Villanova point. Wildcats lead by 2.
Net violation there on the Blue Jays. Cannot touch any part of the net.
And these two teams have stayed close much of the night, but it feels like Villanova has led for a really good portion of the night. And off the block, Creighton back within 1.
Creighton Middle's having a really great third set here. You see Reinhardt again running that 1 in front of Mater. She has such a high contact point on that 1. Makes it hard to get any blocks.
And Creighton ties it back at 13-all. Just trying to find some momentum. Really hasn't been much for Creighton tonight outside of that 1 scoring run in the first set. Mater serves. Harris for Harrell. Again, Martin. McKinnon with a big swing from the middle. Wildcats back up 14-13.
There's McKinnon again. She's an undersized middle. She's only 5'10", but she is able to get off the ground so fast, and you can see the team just feeds off her. She has that natural leadership quality. She's able to inspire her team with her play in points like that.
I was going to say, she gets up off the ground, and she has a really strong arm, too. Villanova up by 2 now.
There's another momentum swing for Villanova. Forehand seal low and over. That ball goes straight down back to the Blue Jays side. And Villanova's finding the momentum here in the middle of this third set.
Well, timeout taken. Villanova leads by 2. This is kind of the point in the second set where Villanova started to pull away, up by a couple. If you're Creighton, you're just trying to find something different, it feels like, at this stage.
Yeah, the Blue Jays haven't been in rhythm all night, right? From defense to blocking schemes to serving and passing. Looking to find something that's steady in their game in order to start there and then build off of that. You see Villanova starting to find their rhythm offensively, their blocking rhythm, keeping Creighton out of sorts. Look here to see Ava Martin and Kiara Reinhardt really step up into these leadership roles. Those two are such great leaders for this squad, and being able to lead them here out of this funk that they found themselves in tonight going forward, I think is going to be a huge point of this game.
Ava Martin, 16 kills on the match, 6 for Jaya Johnson, 4 each for Abby Hayes and Kiara Reinhardt. Blue Jays as a team still hitting just 170 to Villanova on the match at 292. The Wildcats are up over 300 in this third set. Back to action inside DJ Sokol Arena. Again, it was a 25-23 win in set 1 for Creighton. Our Wildcats took set 2 25-16 and lead set 3 here 15-13. Young serves. And Kiara Reinhardt just a little too much.
Brian Rosen having a conversation here with the ref. I'm not sure if he's looking to challenge the ball. He is challenging for a touch call. So with this challenge review, they'll look at touches, they'll look at net violations, and they'll look at in and out. So while he's challenging the touch, they'll look at it all. One of the Villanova players on the bench just did a backflip.
I wish I could do a backflip.
That's some energy right there.
Yeah, really good energy on the Villanova side. I don't think you could blame them having this kind of success against a talented team like Creighton. And even if Creighton, a win for Villanova would be huge, having an upset over a number 12 ranked Creighton team. But just even if Creighton comes back, being able to have found this kind of success against such a good team, you would think builds confidence as we head towards the conference tournament and then the NCAA tournament as well. I'm definitely taking some time to review this, which suggests to me that it's close. As of now, an attack error for Kiara Reinhardt. Was there a Villanova touch, though?
Villanova's 4 losses in conference, coming to Creighton, Xavier twice, and DePaul. With the Big East Conference, there's 10 teams. However, there's one or two teams that you only play once, and this year it's Creighton and Xavier. They only play once instead of twice, which, if you're Creighton and if you're Xavier, I think that's a downfall of the scheduling this year, because you want that game for RPI's sake, because Xavier has put together a really nice season. They're on Creighton's heels in this Big East Conference with only 1 loss so far in conference play. Next week, Creighton will go to their East Coast trip with St. John's and Seton Hall. So looking to finish this Big East play undefeated, that's what's at stake for the Blue Jays.
McCall will stand an unsuccessful challenge for the Blue Jays. So Villanova leads by 3 here in set 3. I don't mind the challenge in this situation at all by Brian Rosen.
Yeah, and slow down the momentum. Here we are at 16-13 in the third set. This 16-17 point mark is really the momentum, the turning point of a game, a lot of sets. So looking to see here. And right there out of the challenge. Great swing from Ava Martin.
Well, you don't want to rely on Ava Martin, but if she's having this kind of success, keep going to her.
Yeah, if you're maybe, you got to find a hot hand at this point.
Well, Martin will serve, the senior from Overland Park, Kansas. Good dig from Harrell. And the Blue Jays are back within 1.
Something that we haven't talked about much on the Villanova side is they do run a 2 libero system. So right now, Mary Kay Ritterbusch is in there. She passes in the serve-receive rotation. So she passes serve-receive, she stays in for the defensive rally. And then Lola Buck Taylor will come in for her defensive play.
Good swing there from McKinnon. How about that, McKinnon? She gets the kill. You can celebrate, but she's ready to go serve right away.
She's got blinders on. She is focused on this match, and she wants it. There is no doubt about that.
Nader for Jaya Johnson. off the Villanova touch. Jays are within one. Breisinger serves, the junior out of Cincinnati. Hayes, good swing off the touch, back tied at 17.
Great swing there from Hayes, and you can feel the momentum starting to shift toward that Creighton side. Sydney Breisinger is a great person you want behind the service line in this situation.
For Harrell. And the Blue Jays are back up by one. Now maybe starting to put together a little scoring run of their own. Breisinger serves again. On the right side for Merton. Blue Jays regroup. Abby Hayes dug out by Young. And it's another Blue Jay point. Creighton leading by 2. You talk about momentum. You feel the energy in the building. Now Creighton on a 4-0 run. Coming out of the, wasn't a timeout, but the review.
Yeah, and right around, like I said earlier, right around that 16, 17 point mark, that's really why you want to put your foot on the gas. Right now, Sydney Breisinger behind the service line. She's 9th in the Big East in service aces per set. She's doing a really great job. She's not getting aces right now, but she's able to get the Wildcats out of system. Allows the Blue Jays to get back in system for those transition kills they've been seeing, and that creates that momentum.
We had a media timeout earlier. Now Villanova takes the timeout. Again, this is a situation where timeout makes sense. You have both of your timeouts left. Creighton's got on a, really, you would call this probably the second good scoring run of the game for the Blue Jays. Had the 6-0 run in the first set. Now in a 4-0 run here. Want to try and stop the Blue Jays while they're hot. We saw what that meant. Not timeout, but time away to give Creighton some momentum.
Yeah, and if you're Creighton, I said it after set 2, a short-term memory. Right now, there's nothing you can do to go back to that second set early in this third set. Trying to reset, find that momentum, find a positive touch wherever you can find it, and just start the dominoes effect, start the dominoes falling for the Blue Jays moving forward. If you're Villanova here, looking to get a solid pass, keeping that offense spread out, trying not to get too one-dimensional with Abby Harrell. She has been having a phenomenal game, but Villanova has been so successful because they've had so many weapons in the front row. So looking here to see if they can spread the offense out, trying to go behind here to Ava Merton, the lefty on the right side.
You talked about not wanting to rely on Ava Martin too much, but the same goes. You don't want to put too much of the offensive pressure on Abby Harrell. She has 12 kills today, more than double the next closest. Not the same margins as Creighton when you're looking at Ava Martin to Jaya Johnson and Abby Hayes, but something there. Back to action inside DJ Sokol, and Creighton's up by 3. Out of the timeout, the Blue Jays scoring run extends to 5-0.
There you have an illegal back row attempt. So we have Ava Harris, who is back row, attempted to set the ball. It went over the net, and she jumped in front of the 10-foot line when she's the back row player. So point Creighton.
Sydney Breisinger serves, continuing this strong serving run. Abby Harrell, great dig by Breisinger. Abby Hayes injecting some energy into this building.
You said it, that was a phenomenal dig by Breisinger. Abby Harrell had a large seam in her block, and she went for it, and Breisinger just stepped right in there.
Breisinger continues to serve. 6-0 run for the Blue Jays. From down 2 to up. How about 5? Now a 7-0 run on the A's.
That was a great serve by Breisinger. You see her go short. That ball just falls off the table right in front of that 10-foot line. And Villanova wants to talk it over. Another
timeout for the Wildcats. It's almost like that gives some energy into the Creighton bench, too.
Yeah, and you know, the Creighton team right now is feeding off these fans. It's a packed house in here on a Friday night. And they're helping, they're willing the Blue Jays at the end of this third set.
There's been so much good energy in this building all season long, creeping towards the attendance record for this program. A building that seats about 2,500, averaging well, not too far away from that, 2,200 a match. That's exciting.
Yeah, DJ Sokol Arena is such a great place to play because it's big. It's 2,500, bigger for a volleyball arena, but it's an intimate feel. So some schools you go to play in their basketball arenas, which is a great facility as well, but feels empty when there's only, it's a 17,000 seat arena and there's only 2,000 in. In DJ Sokol, you really feel the home court advantage because of how intimate the venue is. And it's a great place to play. Big East teams look forward to coming here.
It's got to be a fun energy, even as a visiting player, to feel those fans getting behind Creighton. Maybe gives you a little bit extra juice.
Yeah, we used to always say when we go to opposing teams, pretend they're cheering for you. So I'm sure that's what a lot of teams do when they come here.
Well, the Blue Jays on a 7-0 run, leading 22-17 out of the Villanova timeout. Wildcats looking for an answer. Brandewee with a swing, can't put it away. And Harrell ends the Creighton scoring run, brings Villanova within 4.
Smart shot there from Harrell. She didn't have a lot of shots to take, but she's able to tip that block right off the hand of Johnson.
Crowd getting behind the Jays. Alyssa Nelson serves. Villanova trying to shrink the margin in this third set. On the far side for Abby Hayes, nothing going for Creighton. Sent back over, Preisinger, Mater, Jaya Johnson. Oh, a little too strong. Villanova within 3.
We saw in the first set, after Creighton went on that serving run, Villanova is not going to give up on this third set.
Preisinger, oh my goodness. Johnson sends it back over. Buck Taylor on the right side. Taylor Lewis can't put it away. Creighton up by 4.
Great defensive plays on the Blue Jay side, trying to extend these rallies, giving their offense a chance.
Sent back over by Ritterbush. Oh my goodness. Set point for the Jays, 24-19.
That is just Mater's first kill today. Typically a very offensive setter. We haven't seen her go over on 2, and right there she finds success in that left back corner.
Sage Damrow serves. There's Hayes, dug out by Ritterbush. Tipped over by Young. Martin tries to tip it over, and that'll do it. Set 3 goes to the Blue Jays. 25-19, Creighton takes a 2-1 lead of the match.
Great fight there from the Blue Jays. It's easy to crumble, right? When things aren't going your way, it's easy to start to get in that rut, and then one thing goes wrong, another thing goes wrong, but they stuck with it early in that third set. Credit the leadership of the Blue Jays for sticking in it, and then Villanova did not go down without a fight. If you're Villanova here, you're looking to regroup, come out with the same energy that you come out every set, and keep playing clean volleyball on the Wildcat side.
So the Blue Jays took set 1, 25-23. Set 2 went to the Villanova Wildcats, 25-16, and set 3 goes to Creighton, 25-19. We'll return for set 4 from DJ Sokol Arena in a moment. Welcome back inside DJ Sokol Arena on the campus of Creighton University in downtown Omaha, Nebraska. Nick Matters and the former Blue Jay Jacqueline Taylor hanging out with you on this Friday night. Really to appreciate your company. Creighton a 2-1 lead in this match. And Jacqueline, after a couple of slow starts for Creighton, that third looked a lot more like what we've seen from this Blue Jay team this season.
Yeah, the Blue Jays were able to get in rhythm at the end of that third set. And it all started with that service run from Sydney Breisinger. Just like in that first set, the service run with Nora Wirtz. It's taken one run in each of the Blue Jay set wins to go ahead. Look for them to get a little bit of a stronger start here. Each set has started with Villanova coming out strong. Creighton looking to carry that momentum here into this third.
After Creighton hit just 121 in the first set, 179 in the second set, hit a percentage up to 297 in the third set, and a much more evenly spread offensive attack between Hayes, Reinhardt, Johnson, and Martin. Ava Martin with a big swing from the left side, dug out by the Wildcats, and for the fourth time in as many sets, Villanova takes the first point.
Something also that stands out to me is even though Creighton won that third set, they only sat out at a 47% side out rate. So that means they're scoring in their serve receive only 47% of the time. Typically, you want to see that percentage 60 to 66% and above is going to be the success rate for a set win.
Well, Creighton ties it here 1-1. Still progress to be made, but you can feel things headed in the right direction for Creighton. Really just a good response in that third set.
Yeah, and the word for Creighton all year long has been grit, and I would call this match gritty so far for the Blue Jays. They've just been staying in it. Things have not been going their way, but they're able to find a way.
The error brings Creighton up 2-1, and you can't take anything away from Villanova either. It is a team that led for the entire second set, and they were really neck and neck with Creighton in the first and third sets until late scoring runs from the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and with this Villanova squad being so young, it has been super impressive to watch them today. They have a lot of potential on this Villanova side, and you've seen it here. They're challenging this last call. Looks like Coach Steinbach was pretty confident that there was a touch. He called it right away. Didn't even have to look to his players for confirmation.
Creighton had an unsuccessful challenge in the last set, and it was after that challenge, just the stepping away from the match for a moment, and after that Creighton kind of started to gain some momentum. So that is a successful challenge for the Wildcats. There was a touch. Brian Rosen looking for an explanation.
That ends the service run for Nora Wirtz.
Campbell McKinnon will serve. She's put up a strong match. 3 kills, 3 aces. Ava Martin. A strong kill to bring us back at 2.
Mater, another one of those servers for the Blue Jays that has the potential to go on a dangerous serving run. Blue Jays have 4 servers in the top 10 in service aces per set in the Big East, which is an incredible statistic.
And Villanova's done a pretty good job outside of that kind of one Nora Ward scoring run of keeping those lethal Blue Jays off the service line. Again, back and forth we go here in set 4. The Blue Jays a 2-1 lead of the match. Ava Martin to the back of the court, well placed.
Ava Martin there was able to go over the top of the Villanova block. When she's able to go over the top, she can choose any shot in the book. You see there, she goes right down the line. Hard spot to defend on the Villanova side.
Martin serves for the Blue Jays. From the right side, McGivern with a strong arm. She has her 7th kill of the match.
McGivern has been very successful on that play, running behind the setter. You see right there, Kara Reinhardt a little bit late to close the block. Allows McGivern to have a little bit more space to work with.
McGivern having a good match, 7 kills on 12 attempts. She's hitting .500, hit over .400 against the Blue Jays back in October. And Creighton back tied at 4 with Villanova. Now Sydney Breisinger will serve. We talked about her success serving, but the service error puts Villanova back on top. And just in the first 3 sets, 16 tie scores with 16 lead changes. Very close match. What a swing from Jaya Johnson.
Great swing from Jaya Johnson. Great set by Analea Mayer. She put that ball up on a tee, and Jaya Johnson is able to go her bread and butter shot right down the line.
I made her up to 34 kills in the match, or 34 assists, I should say. She did have a kill earlier. And Creighton up 6-5. Out of the 30-plus assists is kind of just what you come to expect from Analea Mayer. He's done that in now 21 of 25 matches today included. Damrow serves. McKinnon from the middle can't put it away. Hayes sends it back over. This time McKinnon a bit too far. Creighton up by 2.
Good run there for McKinnon in the middle. If I'm Nelson, I'm looking to go back to McKinnon.
A service error for Damrow brings the Creighton lead to 1. Ava Harris, the freshman from Angola, Indiana. Martin, Mader, Hayes tips it over. Battle at the net. Breisinger almost had the dig. My goodness. Great effort from Sydney. Analea Mader looking for an explanation.
Creighton was thinking that was going to be called a lift on the Wildcats because she had an open hand when she lifted it. Call stands.
We're back tied 7-7 here in set 4. Villanova up 8-7. The Wildcats get the point.
Ava Harris on a bit of the serving ground. She comes from a volleyball family. Both her mom and dad were setters in college at Ferris State and IPFW, respectively.
And her sister playing college volleyball as well. Villanova up 9-7.
You can feel the momentum starting to shift towards the Wildcats. Now, they don't have the fans on their side, so a little bit smaller momentum shift. But if you're Villanova, you're taking this and you're running with it, moving forward.
The energy in the building has stayed good the entire night. Especially, I think back to watching that Marquette match from last weekend. Just the weight of the fans brought the energy was was really special. And I talked about it earlier, the attendance record that Creighton's trying to set. Entered today, 4,621 fans shy of the single season home attendance record. That was set back in 2018. Today in attendance, 2,362. So just a little bit over what this program has been averaging this season, right around 2,300. So a chance to break the single season attendance mark on Sunday, also senior day. So that'll be a really special afternoon.
Yeah, that is an awesome statistic right there. And credit the Blue Jay fans. They show up time and time again. Excited to see these Blue Jays play, and this is a fun team to watch. They play with a lot of joy. That's something that Brian Rosen wanted to keep coming into this head coaching position, and there's been no drop-off in how much fun these Blue Jays have on the court, and it just makes it really enjoying to watch and be a fan of.
You can see why Brian Rosen was selected to lead this program after the departure of Kirsten Bernthal-Booth. The way it feels like the culture really hasn't changed around this program. How many times do you see a head coaching change and just the transfer portal goes crazy? Creighton keeps all of its returners, and yet he's having great success this year.
Yeah, and credit Brian Rosen, credit his assistant coaches, credit the team for sticking together through that coaching change and having the success that they've had this season.
Tipped over by Hayes. Hayes back within one.
Smart shot there from Abby Hayes. Tip right over the block. She knew that Ava Harris served that ball. She was coming into the court. And now Hayes goes back to serve.
Hayes serving with the Jays down by one in set 4. Villanova staying on top. Mater for Brandowie. Ritterbusch on the right side. Pat Young with the kill. Villanova maintains a 2-point lead.
Creighton thinking about challenging that one. They determined it was in.
Young serves. Wildcats up by 2 over the Blue Jays. On the right side, Brandowie back within one.
Great swing from Brandowie. Trying to get the Creighton middles going again in this 4th set is going to be a key to success.
Creighton happy to have Nora Wirtz in serving. Jays have 5 aces today. She had 5 in set 1. That ties a career high. Redshirt freshman from Valley, Nebraska. For Martin. Dug by Ritterbusch. Martin. What a swing from the left side. Back tied at 10.
Great swing from Martin. And I really like Creighton running that set about one zone inside of the antenna. It gives Martin more shots to work with. And right there, you see she's able to go cross court.
Tied at 10, Wirtz continues to serve. Down the middle, Campbell McKinnon. That's what Villanova needs to do. Keep the rotation moving for Creighton. Don't let Nora Wirtz go on a strong serving run like she did in the first set.
Yeah, and since that first set, Nora Wirtz has had 1, 2 at most serves behind that line. Villanova has done a really great job adjusting.
McKinnon serves. Mater for Martin. Well placed cross court.
And there you see that set is even more inside. So that's what we call a hut. Right between that middle zone and the outside zone. Once again, it makes that right side blocker have to take a step in to set up that block.
Off the tape, Wildcats keep it alive. Martin on the right side. Villanova back ahead.
The Villanova right sides have done a really, really great job this match. They're putting up steady numbers, doing their job, setting up great blocks.
Alyssa Nelson serving. He's contributed 15 assists today. And a service there ties us at 12. Ava Martin serves. She's at 22 kills on the match, hitting .278. Creighton back up by 1.
Good call there from Sydney Breister to let that one go wide. Great idea from Abby Harrell. She's been quiet this set.
We talked about it from the open. If you want to have success, if you're Creighton tonight, you have to keep Abby Harrell quiet. And they've really done that these last 2 sets after she really opened the match strong. Harrell there. Breisinger for Johnson. Hayes sends it over. Young's got it. On the right side for Lewis. Dug out by Mader. Martin's got it. Back and forth we go. And the Jays take the point. Firing up this arena.
That was an incredible point by the Blue Jays. They found themselves in trouble a few times. Overpass, dig, and they stay in it to the finish. That has the crowd on their feet.
Always seems like it's those blocks from Jaya Johnson that inject some energy into this building. Again, Jaya Johnson.
That was a fun run by Jaya Johnson as well. In transition, she runs a slide. She was a middle and high school, transition to the right side here at Creighton. And she was able to run a slide behind off 1 foot. Coach Steinbach, feeling the energy starting to shift towards the Blue Jay side, calls the timeout.
How about Jaya Johnson, the only player in the Big East this year with 0.85 blocks per set and digs per set.
Wow.
She's doing a little bit of everything this year for Creighton.
She is. She had a stint here in the middle of the season where she played 6 rotations, and she held her own in the backcourt. As a middle and high school, she didn't, more than likely, probably didn't get as many reps as the defenders in the back row, and she held her own back there. Creighton has transitioned with Sage Damrow back from injury into a little bit different scheme in that backcourt. But Jaya Johnson doing her job in the front court, attacking and blocking at a high clip.
Even when she's not playing all 6 rotations, making such an impact when she's on the court. Forcing the timeout. 1 timeout left aside here in set 4. The Blue Jays leading 15-12. Creighton, after it feels like each set has gotten better than last, hitting 121 in the first set, 179 in the second set, 297 in the third set, up to 381 in set 4. Much more like the Creighton team we've come to expect.
Creighton a bit more in rhythm this time around. That starts from the pass, that starts from the defensive dig, the block touches. They're able to get their offensive in rhythm, and that's really what this Creighton team has been known for this year, is their offense. And you're starting to see it here in the middle of set 4. Villanova coming out of this timeout, serve and pass, getting back to their basics on the Villanova side so they can be in system with all 4 of their hitters.
Jays from down 1 to up 3 on a 4-0 scoring run. How about a 5-0 scoring run? Kiara Reinhardt with the kill.
Kiara Reinhardt, that was a great point for her. She got the block touch, and then in transition, she's up. Mader's able to find her.
Martin continues to serve. Barely kept alive by the Wildcats. Mader for Reinhardt again.
And that's something we didn't see a lot in that first and second set. Reinhardt got the ball a few times, not as much as Creighton needed her to get it.
Martin continues to serve on a 6-0 run. That will come to an end. Villanova back within 4.
Harrell able to go a line there. Great choice by her. Creighton has done a great job of in-game adjustments, of getting block touches on her attacks.
Abby Harrell serves. Mader sends it to Johnson. Lewis finds it. On the far side for Kat Young, but it's a Creighton point.
Josh Steinbach looking for a challenge here for a touch call.
Again, a good spot to use a challenge if you're Villanova. Both with a chance to just let things settle for your team, and also what could be it's a difference of the scoring margin difference is significant if you're able to get a successful challenge. Villanova does have a successful challenge today. Creighton's been unsuccessful once.
Yeah, I like this challenge by Coach Steinbach. Even if they don't get the reversal, it's time to slow down. You saw Creighton do this in the third set, and then they went on a run after this extended challenge. These touch calls take a little bit longer. They've gotten faster, it seems like, every year since the challenge system has been introduced. But still some time taken to find the right camera angles and see that touch.
And again, to overturn a call, you have to have clear, definitive evidence. And if you don't, the call will stand. Creighton looking for what would be a 15th consecutive victory today. 13th straight this season in Big East play, but a win today would be the Blue Jays' 44th consecutive regular season conference match win, with a chance on Sunday to tie the conference record of 45 that was set by Notre Dame back at the start of the 21st century.
Wow. That is a pretty incredible statistic, and the Blue Jays are trending towards that direction right now. The call will stand.
The call stands. Jays lead by 5 in set 4. Sydney Breisinger will serve. She has an ace today, 15 digs. Hayes, Mater, Hayes again, but Ritterbusch there. On the right side, Lewis. Creighton up by 6.
If you're Villanova here, smart timeout. This is where you're going to have to find a point, find 2 points, start chipping away at this lead. You don't want it to get much further apart with Creighton playing clean volleyball like they are right now.
And the margin for error is already slim, but especially like you said with the Creighton's just playing as clean as they've been at any point in this match. 19-13, Creighton leads Villanova here in set 4. After a really slow, uncharacteristic start for the Blue Jays, the last 2 sets have looked much better. And I go back to that first set where Villanova went on a late scoring run. Creighton was able to put it away. That looks really big right now.
Yeah, and in the first couple sets, it was a game of runs, right? Villanova would go on a run, Creighton would go on a run. Credit that to the serving, credit that to the passing. But here in this 4th set, Creighton's able to get 2-3 points every time a server steps behind that line. Which means Creighton's playing cleaner behind the service line, yes, but also in transition. They're able to run their offense, get in rhythm, like we've talked about all match long.
Villanova took the second set. They didn't just win it, 25-16. It was pretty convincing. A 9-point margin, a set where Creighton didn't lead at any point.
That was an impressive set for the Wildcats. See if they can find some of that power here. They're in the rotation where they like to set McGivern on the backside.
Breisinger serves. We're back underway inside DJ Sokol Arena. Martin, Mater on the right side, Jaya Johnson. Wildcats can't quite keep it alive, nearly ended up in the crowd. Good effort by Lewis, though.
Jaya Johnson has really come along in this 4th set.
Brandowy keeps it going. Mater for Johnson. Harrell has it. And Givern tries to tip it over, but Creighton leads by 8, really starting to pull away here in set 4. You'd love to have sweeps over Marquette and Villanova, but I can't help but think it's good for this Creighton team to face some adversity in conference play headed into the postseason. And now Creighton's really inching towards victory, 3 away from taking the match.
Yeah, and we talked about it. This Villanova team is solid. Number 43 in the RPI. This is a top 50 match for the Blue Jays. And Villanova is playing every bit of that ball. They're looking like an NCAA tournament team. They're going to be dangerous here, finishing out the regular season, then going into the Big East tournament.
I'm excited to see which teams from the Big East wind up making the NCAA tournament. You feel good about Creighton, Xavier. Villanova has a good case. Maybe Marquette can make a late run. That was Eloise Brandowy at the net. Creighton 2 away.
Yeah, and this Big East Conference, it's as deep as it's ever been this year. 4 potential teams making the NCAA tournament.
Even UConn having a good season. I mean, there are a lot of different ways things can go.
And this is the tournament's going from 6 to 4 teams this year, which it used to be 4 teams, went to 6 teams, back to 4. But this is one of those years you kind of wish there were 6 teams because of how much parity there is in this conference.
Well, Brandon, we had it at the net. That'll bring it a match point for the Blue Jays. On a 7-0, 6-0 scoring run, I beg your pardon, 6-0 scoring run, trying to finish off this match. And of course, it's Sydney Breisinger with an ace to finish off the win for the Blue Jays. In 4 sets, Creighton wins it over Villanova. That's a 15-match winning streak for Creighton.
Great finish there for the Blue Jays. They grinded out that win. It wasn't their prettiest match at times, but in that 4 set, they were really able to get in that rhythm, and it really started from behind that service line. Credit Sydney Breisinger, credit Nora Wirtz. Villanova, nothing to hang your head about. Great match by the Wildcats. Really great offensive parity, good defensive touches. They have a lot to look forward to going into the end of this season, trying to make some noise in that postseason for this young Villanova squad.
If you're Villanova, nothing to hang your head on in this match. A strong start, but Creighton just too powerful over those final 2 sets, kind of finding their form after a slow start to the season. Look, this is a big match for both teams. Creighton would love to be able to win the regular season conference title outright. Villanova looking to improve its RPI and its standing for the postseason. And when I look at the final stats here, Abby Harrell, 16 kills. She hit .268 for Villanova. You have a few double-doubles for Creighton. Ava Martin, 23 kills, 14 digs. Annalea Mater, 43 assists, 12 digs. It's as the match went on, the offensive attack became much more evenly spread.
Yeah, Creighton found their rhythm. Credit Mater for sticking in there with her hitters. Credit the hitters for sticking in there with Mater, and credit the passers for getting out of that. But great turnaround for the Blue Jays. Lot to work on, lot to look forward to for both teams moving into late November.
So Villanova has 2 matches left in conference play, UConn and Providence. Creighton has 3 more coming up on Sunday, 1 o'clock, Senior Day. Festivities after the match. That's with Georgetown. A 1 o'clock start. Really do hope you'll be able to stick around for again, it's across the Big East. Really excited to see where this conference is at headed into the conference tournament. We were talking about at the end how things look for the NCAA tournament. A lot of good volleyball left to be played in the Big East. But today it is a 4-set win for the Blue Jays. Creighton took set 1, 25-23. Villanova responded in set 2, 25-16. But the final 2 sets went to the Blue Jays, 25-19 and 25-13. So for Jacqueline Taylor, I am Nick Batter saying so long from DJ Sokol Arena in Omaha, where the score is 3-1 in favor of the Blue Jays. Creighton has won 15 in a row to 20 wins on the season. Back at DJ Sokol Arena on Sunday. Take care, everyone.